Well, g'day guys. I just wanted to take a few minutes out of my weekend to elaborate on the ABC 666 interview I did a few weeks ago and the SVS Insight program. Yes, I have been feeling a little uncomfortable talking about this subject because I'm no defence culture expert or expert on defence operations. In fact, I think that my message of more love and less debt is not resonating well with an institution whose role is to train people to kill others. So that's why I'm broadcasting from my bed, more love and less debt. Anyway, I do think that upon leaving secondary school or during secondary school, that some sort of military training would benefit the individual. Ultimately, this would also reward the nation because we would have mentally, physically and, if treated right, financially fit individuals in society. So I'm not against defence by any stretch of the imagination. What we're here to talk about is ADF culture and whether ADFA should be closed down. So 3 points. The first point is that in 2006 there was an inquiry, it was called Learning Culture Enquiry, and it made 47 recommendations, one of which was that trainees who decide that the ADF is not for them, so it was actually putting the onus on the trainee to decide that ADF wasn't right for them, that person was to be treated with respect as they left defence and supported, because in future they may very well become an advocate or defence employee. So that was one. But this I find very interesting, and listen to this, it's 3 points. The inquiry found that there was no evidence of a culture supporting bullying or harassment. However, there is a way to go before the culture firmly opposes bullying and harassment. So you can see the 2 points there that we're in between in 2006. Then the third step is fully supporting equity and diversity. Now my second point, and we may already do this, is that there should be education around emotional intelligence and how the example ideal soldier incorporates EI and mental health. An example was I was the only woman on a course with 19 Special Forces and Tactical Response guys. Now the meanest mother on that course during training was respected, didn't have to rely or resort to bullying tactics or group dynamics of pack mentality to become a leader within that group. And as I said, he was the meanest mother on that course. But then on the weekend you saw him and he was putty in the hands of his wife and his children. He was mentally, very physically and emotionally balanced. I actually have a saying, if you take your car to a mechanic, your teeth to a dentist, then why not take your mind to someone who studied the mind? The worst that can happen is you walk out of there and go, geez, I thought I had problems. So I actually think that more mental health and emotional intelligence should be taught. My third point addresses the question, should ADFA be closed down? And I think David Baines made a comment on the LinkedIn forum about joint operations and TUTs. For the layman, that's tactical exercise without troops, TEWT. So you can do TUTs that will allow you to learn how the other services operate. But I'll give you this point. I went through in 1992, I graduated. By 1995, as a low lieutenant, I was talking to Air Force colleagues of mine in getting exercise Kangaroo 95 off the ground. Obviously I wasn't getting it off the ground, but my little part to play, I was able to liaise with other people that I knew. Now that is an intangible connection that you can't get, obviously, if there isn't a tri-service institution. Now I can't put a dollar value on that, but I would say that there's the benefit, and indeed there have been comments on that LinkedIn forum with regards to asking the senior officers how they think their tri-service relationships have benefited from ADFA. So I'm going to bow out of this now. I'd like to focus on issues of humanity, and I'd like to leave you with a passing quote. Whether you do or don't believe in climate change, you can do the sums on this one. This book was written within the last couple of years. It's 2011 now. 50 years ago, there were approximately 2.5 acres of arable land for every person on Earth, and the leaky, wasteful, polluting agricultural practices that have remained unchanged for thousands of years were adequate. But by the middle of this century, there will be just half an acre of arable land per head. Unless we find ways to use that land sustainably and creatively, humanity has no future. Now that last sentence might be a little dire, but if you check out the population counter on the ABS, Australian Bureau of Statistics, abs.gov.au, you'll see that we're producing a baby once every 2 minutes, and that's quite small compared to the world at large. Australia is only half the population of California. So let's start thinking big. Yes, war has its place, I guess, in this world, and I know now that I'm going off topic. Just wanted to give you a couple of minutes, food for thought, but if you are passionate about defence culture, then look into that Learning Culture Enquiry report of 2006, and I sincerely hope that people do join the Defence Forces. Thank you.